Alright, it is time for a tag video. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to do the end of the year book tag. Woohoo! It feels like good timing too, because here we are in mid to end December, and I think it's good to start thinking about the end of the year before it gets to like mid-December. Think now for me. So this is the perfect time to think about it. So a big thank you to James Tatum. Hi James! Thank you for tagging me, and I will leave, of course, a link to his channel below and up here. And the original tag was created by Ariel Basatic, fellow Canadian. So here we go with the questions. There are six plus one. And the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you still need to finish? And I have a couple for this. The biggie, and this is a biggie, but the biggie is the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, which I've been working on since 2015, and I have one story left. I have one story left, and I might even try to read it tonight. It has been an epic journey, and I am really, really close, and I can just feel it. I can feel it. So that is one, and then there is another one that I'm working on right now, and that is, of course, Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin, which I have mentioned, I'm sure, like, I have mentioned in Every Friday Reads, and I will continue mention in Every Friday Reads, because it's going to take me a while. I hit the 200-page mark, so I'm 20% in. I'll get there. So those are the two really big ones, and then everything else on my currently reading list, which is about 20 books. Okay, question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book that to transition you to the end of the year? So this tag has been going on for a while, I think since about September, so I don't actually have one. I actually did try seasonal reading this year a little bit, especially in autumn, and it doesn't really call to me. So like no for the question, and then the seasonal thing, I don't know. I am going to try to read some Christmassy stuff and holiday stuff in December and see if that sticks. So, and I might try again next year. I might just leave out the seasonal reading. I like doing these things seasonally. I like enjoying the seasons, but I don't incorporate it into my reading that much. And I gave it a shot. I feel like once I'm reading a book, you're kind of somewhere else. So it doesn't have to be the same as where you are. I don't know. People love it. I really tried this year. I don't know. We'll see. So number 3, the question is there a new release that you are still waiting for? I don't think so. Most of the books that I was looking forward to this year already came out. On my spreadsheet, I only had like 4 books, and they were mostly continuation of series. There was one that got bumped till next year, and that's the 10th book in the Kate Daniel series by Ilona Andrews. That was supposed to come out, I think, in September, but it got booted to next year, either March, but I think it's actually probably May. And I think it's going to be the last book. I hope it's the last book. I really enjoy the series. It's a long arc story. And I think, especially from the title, I think it's coming to a close, which is good. It's good. I don't like when it just keeps going indefinitely. So that's the release I'm still waiting for, but nothing so much this year. I don't track, as I said. I had 4 books coming out this year, and I think they were all continuation of series that I was sort of tracking, other than Jen Campbell's book, The Beginning of the World and the End of the Night, and that has been released as well. That's the only one that was its series. So I think everything's out there to enjoy. Woohoo! Number 4, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Kind of like all of my unwrapped books that I've done from my unwrappings that I haven't read yet. I think I'm only at about 50% read of that, which I am really surprised at. I've really enjoyed doing the unwrappings. I really enjoyed wrapping all the books, but it's actually going a little bit slower than I expected in terms of the reading, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if I unwrapped too many books. I don't know if it's resistance, like maybe I actually don't want to read this and I don't know what to do with it, which is happening with one of the books. So, but all of those, as well as I also want to read. I was hoping to read anything I got for my birthday by Christmas. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think there's 2 people that gave me books for my birthday, and I like to read at least one of the books that I got for my birthday by Christmas. So on Christmas I can say I really love the book. But so far I'm just in the middle of one and haven't started the other. I think I might give myself my birthday's in July, so maybe it's more reasonable to give myself till next July. I don't know. We'll see. And the other one that I really want to read is Warriors in Winter by Michelle Willingham, which is a set of 3 novellas in the MacEgan Brothers series, and it is the last book in the series. This is historical romance set in Ireland, and this is book, I think, 6, and I'm currently in book 5, but there's also 2 novellas in between 5 and 6, so I have to read all of those before I get to this one, because this one's holiday themed novellas in that world. So I do want to read that this year. And then number 5, is there a book you think will shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I don't know. I actually don't know what my favorite book of the year. I did have a little gander, and the ones that popped out were more like rereads, and so I'm not quite sure. I don't, but the answer is yeah, sure, of course. Any next book could be your favorite book ever, or the year of or the moment, or the week. I don't know. I think the one that has the biggest contender is probably The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. But other than that, I don't think, I don't know. I don't want to lose hope at any possibilities. But I also am in the middle of a bunch of stuff. I don't know if any of that's going to be my favorites, and that makes me think, oh, why am I even reading these if I don't think they're going to be my favorites? I still want to do the 5-star TBR picks too, and I'm like, do I want to do that? Can I do that with wrapped books? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm getting to spiraling into craziness. Um, overwhelm, not craziness. Okay, so yes, I think it's possible a book could be, and yes, it could be The Book of Dust, or it could be Warriors in Winter. I don't know. Anything's possible. Number 6, have you already started making reading plans for 2018? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love plans. I really do. I don't have any set plans. Currently I'm still at lots of ideas. It's hard because I think every year for the past 3 years I've taken on a new book project or challenge, and so now I'm in the middle of lots of different things that sort of kind of don't really have an end, or the end isn't possible. So of course I want to start new things, but I'm also like, wow, I have all these other projects on the go, so what am I going to do? But anyway, just in terms of, sharing a little bit about possibilities. How I do it is I put it in my spreadsheet. I think I have a one tab for like goals for this year, and then at the end of that I just put down some ideas for next year. I always have lofty ideas about reading all of the nominated books for anything, right? Anything. Governor General, Giller, Canada Reads, the Sci-Fi Fantasy BookTube Awards nominees. I wonder how they're going to do that this year. It sounds like it might be a little bit different. There might be more books, or series might only be if it's X amount early in the series, all these things. It'll probably come down to the actual books and the availability for that. And I don't know, I'm still working on this idea of reading iconic works by women authors, and I've read 2 and I'm on the 3rd, and I don't know if I want to set that list. I don't think I can set that list in advance. I think that's going to be a sort of like pick the next one and just keep building the list, which is a different format from the other projects I have, like the Unwrapping, or my Those Books project, or the Sci-Fi Fantasy and Weird project. Pop Sugar actually did just recently come out with their list for 2018, and I was trying the Read Harder challenge this year, but to be honest, I wasn't actively looking out for books in the challenges. I was just sort of like saying yes, given some of the stuff that I read, so I wasn't that much of an active participant, which is bad on my part. But the Pop Sugar ones, I was surprised. I thought the list was actually quite good, but it's a list of 40 to 50, which is a lot. That's a dedicated amount of books. So yeah, I think I actually oddly might want to read a little bit less this year, because I am definitely on track to easily have read 200 titles. Not books, titles. All of the Lovecraft stories count as one title. So, and I'm sure at least 50 of the books in that 200 will be short stories and such. But that's a lot. So my reading goal might be to read less. I don't know. So I have lots of ideas. And I don't know if I'm gonna go back to I don't know, maybe I'll go back to going to my priority categories and come up with a TBR list monthly. I've shifted so many times how I cultivate my list of my reading, and I've done a lot of readathons this year, which has really created like little pockets of focus and stuff. So I don't know what I will end up doing, but I'm definitely thinking about it. I think normally for me, I'll think about that more after Christmas and before New Year's, and when I also reflect back on how this reading year went, what I was happy with, what I wasn't happy with, what I'd like to incorporate more of. But I definitely have ideas. I'd love to hear if you have plans for next year, if any of those ideas sound good, like reading iconic works by women, or reading less, or doing the pop sugar or the read harder if there's a challenge that you follow, because I think it's a fascinating way to create your reading experience. And I think intention in that sense is a good thing. But I also like sort of following my nose a bit too. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so that was the long-winded answer. He asked me about plans. The chat's gonna get longer. And next up, who do you tag? And I do have people to tag. I am tagging Sharami with books. I am going to tag Read a Book, and I am going to tag Shazza Fantastic Reads, and I will leave links to all of their channels below. They are all new-ish to me, either found through Borrowathon or recent subscribers and new people that I am watching and enjoying, so I highly recommend that you check them out as well. And if you haven't done this tag and you would like to do this tag, please consider yourself tagged. And even if you just want to say, I want to do this tag, I will reply and say, you have now been tagged, because I think tags are a lot of fun. So there you go, end of the year book tag.